Canyon. We're here at South Kaibab Trail. It's May 7th, I think, or 8th. One of those 2 days. Doing a rim to rim. It's a little over 5:30. Pretty windy and chilly here at the rim, but it'll warm up here shortly. Coming through on your left. Thank you. So we just passed Point a little bit ago. And we're making our way towards Cedar Ridge, which you can actually see down there. Kind of shadowed by O'Neill Butte off in the distance there, and then the Kaibab Trail just kind of winds down there until it reaches the river. Already starting to warm up. My at least my buff will probably come off at Cedar Ridge. I'll probably leave my gloves and maybe my jacket on. I don't know. They might all come off actually. It's not nearly as windy here as it was on the rim. You know, even though we've probably haven't even descended. Well, I can check. Yeah, 800 feet. I was gonna say not even 1,000 feet, and it's already warming up here at the canyon. Kind of making my way past a lot of the crowds there too. You know, even though we got the early start, there's a lot of hikers and backpackers, some runners. So I'd like to shoot for a faster time than the last time I did this, which took about 14.5 hours. I'd like to get that closer to 12 today. So I'm not gonna stop as much. I'm not gonna stop at Ribbon, and I'm coming back up South Kaibab as opposed to up Bright Angel, because even though it's significantly steeper and harder to climb, it is shorter. So I'm hoping all of that should take a little bit off my time, but we'll see. I'm still kind of getting warmed up here, just trying to pace myself down South Kaibab. For a double cross, I want to conserve my legs going down this trail, you know, because you kind of got to treat it like an ultra as opposed to not going out too fast. But see the sun coming out. Sunrise down South Kaibab is the best, so I'm just enjoying the views. I'm just trying to get footage of this sunrise because it is spectacular, and it's just illuminating all the cliffs and just various shades of blue, and it's awesome. It makes me really happy to get to see stuff like this. Morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks. we're approaching tip-off. This is about 4.5 miles down, so after this, it's a little under 2 miles to reach the river. This is one of my favorite spots down South Kaibab. The Tonto Trail intersects with this, so you can hang a left here on Tonto West, take that till it hits Indian Garden and link up with Bright Angel right there. That's a good 13-14 mile run. That shade structure is new. They put that in last summer, fall, and there's a little rain cache that you can, it's the only water on this trail, and you have to filter it, but it's good to dunk your hat in when it's hot out because there's not much shade here on South Kaibab. And a lot of this technical terrain I'm still a little iffy on since my ankle injury. When I used to run this pre-injury, I would hardly slow down, but like for all that stuff, I just take it a lot more cautiously now, which I guess is good, you know, because rolled ankles are no fun when you're a distance runner. But even like for a rim to rim to rim, you know, it's very easy just to bomb down South Kaibab, and then you don't really set yourself up for success for the rest of the long day. So we passed a mule train a little bit ago. That was kind of neat. There was a runner in front of me. He actually passed me shortly after Skeleton Point, making really good time. But he tried to pass the mules and like run around them, and you can't do that. You know, you have to just stay behind the mule train, wait for the guides to tell you it's safe to pass, and then you want to pass carefully, not run around them, because that could startle a mule, which could lead to disaster. And it's like, people that try to do that just give runners in the canyon a bad name. So if you ever want to run in the canyon, that's like rule number one, is listen to the mule guides. Do not pass a mule train until you are told you can do so. This section, actually you can see the runner in the white shirt there. This is my favorite section of the South Kaibab Trail. I call that the roller coaster because it's so runnable, and you can just fly down it, and it looks really neat. The path carved out against the red surface, and pretty much from here on out, from tip off to the river, or to the bridge I should say, you get really cool shots of the river along the way. So there's one up here. And you can hear it, rapids roaring down there. And it's just awesome. I was gonna stop the camera, but I'm gonna keep it going. And I'm just gonna film myself running down the coaster. See, a lot of these steps are just kind of awkward to run. South Kaibab is full of them. Some of them get kind of steep. That's why coming up is like a slog almost every time. See, now you gotta watch your footing. But once you hit this last part, it opens up quite a bit to some really runnable terrain down the coaster. So we're gonna have some fun here. The river. here we go. Morning.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. It's just awesome. Look at that. This doesn't have an official name, but I'm going to start a petition for canyon runners to refer to this section as the coaster. It's so much fun to run down that. We are nearing the end of South Kaibab. About an hour and 19 to get to the bridge, which isn't too bad. If I'm pushing it, I can do it sub 70. But for rim trim to rim, don't want to push it too bad. It's all about conserving. Now the elite guys can do it in like 40 minutes, which is just unbelievable. But we're running through the tunnel. I'm not gonna go for a bridge sprint. Just because again, it's a long day, but here we are, running over the Colorado River, the bottom of Grand Canyon, running across the Black Bridge, or Kaibab Suspension Bridge, as it's also called. Now, these steel cables here, 42 Havasupai men carried those down the South Kaibab Trail on their shoulders. They each weigh about 2,300 pounds. I mean, just look at that. I mean, that's just unbelievable. This bridge was built in 1927 to replace an older bridge that was starting to fail, you know, as they had mule trains and that sort of thing. And it's just unbelievable how they built this bridge. Can you imagine carrying 2,300 pound cables on your shoulder with 41 other guys down South Kaibab? It's insane. But anyway, here we are. The mighty Colorado. Looks as beautiful as ever. I was actually just here a week ago with a group of friends, me and 7 other people. We did down South Kaibab to Phantom, up Bright Angel. But no matter how many times I'm here, it's special every time. And my nose is running like a sieve, so I apologize if I have snot all over my face. So when you get down here, the trail gets a little more sandy and rocky, but it's still fairly runnable for the most part. I'm just still cautious. I'm always thinking about rolling an ankle now. I'm probably going to be for a long time, but it's good, because I used to bomb hills pretty recklessly. You know, you think you're invincible until you get hurt. But yeah, this gives information on how the bridge was built, how they carried 550 feet long suspension cables 7 miles down the twisting and tortuous South Kaibab trail. And that blows my mind. Now there's some cool ruins here. These date back to 1100 AD, I believe. People living here. And they don't know what happened to them as far as why the ruins were abandoned. But it's pretty cool to think about people living here 1,000 years ago. So I feel pretty good. I took South Kaibab pretty conservatively. My quads feel fine. I still feel fresh. I'll eat here in a little bit, just have a little snack. But yeah, I'm just gonna take these next 9 miles or so pretty easy. Maybe try to run some 12s, 13s. It climbs a little bit, but it's gradual. It's about 1,000 feet, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 over the next 9 miles until you get to Manzanita, and then it really starts climbing. At which point I'll just be power hiking until I hit the North Rim. So we're down here at Phantom Ranch. A lot of wildlife out this morning. I've seen quite a few deer already down here. It's pretty cool. (1922). It's pretty amazing. Built that place in 1922. It's unreal. It's so cool, just like making your way down the canyon. Just no signs of life. And then all of a sudden you have water, you have wildlife, you have buildings. Like your own little village down here. It's pretty special. Let's see how I'm doing on battery. I have a couple of extra. I think I'm doing okay. My first rim to rim to rim, I didn't really film a whole lot until I got a little past this point. Because with that one, I knew I was going to ribbon, and I kind of wanted to capture more of that as opposed to the actual rim to rim to rim run. But for this one, I mean, I have a few canyon running videos on my channel already, but I figured, you know, why not do a little bit more filming. So the last one that I did, I drove up from my house in Prescott Valley. I drove up and back on the same day, so I left at like 3 in the morning. For this one, I had a hotel. I stayed in Williams last night, so I still left there at like 4 to get here by 5. But I drove up to Flag yesterday after work, checked out the finish line of Cocodona. Got to see a couple of guys cross the finish line, which was so inspiring. I was hoping to see some of my buddies from the running group that I'm in, but they all finished before I got there. But just to get to see some of the people finish that was pretty incredible. 250-mile race. I worked one of the aid stations on Monday, and then just following the live coverage all week on Aravaipa Running YouTube channel. It was so cool. I was glued to that. Made it hard to get stuff done at work, but it was a really fun week, really inspiring. I'm thinking I might want to give it a shot next year, but we'll see. I have a couple more 100-milers that I want to do this year. 250 just seems mind-blowing. Actually, it turned out to be like 256 or 257. 42,000 feet of climb, 37,000 feet of descent. Started in Black Canyon City, went through Crown King, Prescott Valley, up and over Mingus, through Jerome, Cottonwood, Sedona, then up onto the Cocodona Plateau to get into Flag, and then up and down over Mount Eldon. And then it finished in Heritage Square in downtown Flag. Just a gnarly race. So this is Bright Angel Creek. The North Kaibab Trail pretty much follows this until it hits Manzanita, I believe. And then it's a long climb to get to the North Rim. But look at how beautiful the South Rim looks with the light hitting it. Calls for a phone picture, and then I'll try to run some of these miles out. I don't really have too much to say. I just want to get some of this footage of this creek flowing, because it's flowing pretty rapidly. And it's just awesome. It sounds beautiful. It's so peaceful. Down here, there's not many people, just a couple of runners. There's a few up ahead of me and a couple behind me that were filling up at Phantom. This part of the canyon from Phantom up until about where you hit Ribbon, about 5.5, 6 miles, is known as the box, just because you're kind of surrounded by these canyon walls. It's notorious for being insanely hot, but it's actually really comfortable, if not a little chilly right now. It's a little breezy this morning and it feels really good. This is the first of 6 footbridges, I believe, until you hit Redwall Bridge just before Supai Tunnel, which is later on in the climb. But yeah, I think the wind is kind of bouncing between these canyon walls, and it's kind of acting like the heat would during the heat of the day, and it feels perfect. I mean, I wanted to leave earlier to avoid being in here during the hottest parts of the day, and I still might be on the return trip back, but at least for right now, this is just perfect canyon running weather. See the little prickly pears blooming there? I bet those will be really pretty in a couple of weeks. There's some yellows coming off the cactus there. We didn't have much of a wildflower season in the desert this year just because of how dry our winter was. And even last summer, we hardly had any monsoons. So, yeah, not the best wildflower season, but it's okay. Just trying to capture the beauty and the majesty of it all, but you really can't. You really can't. I mean, you just look up and you can just make out so many different layers and colors, and it's just unbelievable. And that isn't even the top. I mean, the North Rim's way past it. We're just kind of, like I said, following the creek as it winds through this little canyon. I believe this is Bright Angel Canyon, and this is Bright Angel Creek. Up ahead on the left, we're gonna hit Phantom Canyon, which Phantom Creek runs through, which feeds Bright Angel Creek, which that feeds the Colorado River. So it's just amazing how many different creeks and tributaries there are that make up Grand Canyon. You know, it's like all these little smaller canyons that make up Grand Canyon, and they all have their own names to them. All these rock formations have their own names to them, and it's pretty cool. You can't really get this perspective from the rim. It's one of those things where you have to actually be in it for yourself to really get the sense of just grandeur. How you doing? Morning. Morning. A couple of runners here. I think Phantom Canyon's past this footbridge. But yeah, just a perfect morning here so far at Grand Canyon. Making good on time. I think if I can get up to the North Rim, see, I'm a little under 2 hours right now, a little under 9 miles in. We'll see if I can make it up to the North Rim by 6 hours or under 6 hours. I think I'll be in good shape, because that has 1,000 feet more worth of climb than the South Rim does. So we'll see what kind of time I can get. I'm not gonna set any speed records, but I'd like to do it a little bit quicker than my first time doing rim to rim to rim, which, like I said, was about 14 and a half hours. So far so good. And I'm just gonna keep the camera rolling, because I think this is it right up here. Phantom Creek and Phantom Canyon. Maybe not. I thought I saw a little intersection for it, but it's around here somewhere. And you can explore back there. This is it. This is it right here. It's not like a designated trail, but you can explore back there, and there's some really cool spots. Morning. There it is, Phantom Creek as it feeds Bright Angel Creek. There's Phantom Canyon. We're gonna keep following Bright Angel Creek. So we're at the junction where the social trail to get to Ribbon Falls is. This hill, this is very aptly named Asinine Hill. Probably the first serious climb along North Kaibab. It's pretty gradual from Phantom up until this point, but here it's a bit of a climb. So to get to Ribbon, since the bridge is closed, you cross the creek there, and you essentially just kind of make your own path. And you can see where people have made their way. You just basically follow. But there is some route finding that you have to do, and your feet will get wet, at least on the initial creek crossing. But it's worth it to see for sure if you haven't been to Ribbon Falls. They actually just made an announcement that they were gonna tear down the bridge on the other side of this hill. I don't know if it's already been done or what. I guess we'll find out in a minute. So I'm 13.5 miles in, 3 hours and 4 minutes so far, which isn't bad. I can't remember what my time was when I got to here on my last rim to rim to rim, but I did take the detour to see Ribbon Falls, and that added a good bit to my overall time. So I'm hoping that by skipping out on Ribbon this time around, I'll be able to shave my time down quite a bit. You can see the south rim back there, way back where we came from. Looks beautiful in the morning light. Little prickly pear field. We're still just following Bright Angel Creek. Cottonwood Campground is shortly after this. We'll have water there, unless it's turned off, but I think it's on. Probably should have checked that before doing this, but I think water's on at Cottonwood. If not, it'll be on at Manzanita. But I'm still doing pretty good as far as water goes. And I don't know if you can make it out in the camera, but way over there, kind of if you follow the greenery, how it goes there and then back, tucked into that little canyon, you can see moss coming down that hillside. That's Ribbon Falls. You can see the little stream of water making its way down that patch of moss, and it's one of the most stunning sights that I've seen in Grand Canyon. Especially as the sunlight hits it, it creates a little rainbow at the bottom of the falls. Hopefully you can see that. If not, just check out my other rim to rim to rim video here on YouTube. Or, I mean, there's, you know, tons of videos and pictures of it. But there it is, Ribbon Falls. It's kind of cool seeing it from back here. But if you've never done the canyon before and you're doing a rim to rim or rim to rim to rim, I highly recommend taking the detour to see it, because it's just unbelievable in person. And you just look up and it just looks like water just coming like straight out of the blue sky. It's pretty amazing. So there it is. I'm going to finish this climb up Asinine Hill, and I'll check in on the other side because I want to see if the bridge is still there or not. So we will see you then. Interesting. So the bridge is gone. I'll just take a short detour down here. So for those of you that have been here anytime within the last 2 years or so, the Ribbon Falls Bridge, it's literally, it was like twisted. Like, just super gnarly looking. I don't know what caused it. Maybe the winds just wasn't, you know, supported enough or whatever to withstand all the crosswinds, maybe, but this is where the bridge was. And now it's gone. There's the creek. So if this bridge is here, Ribbon's only like 0.2 miles. Like, you cross the bridge you kind of go this way and then up that way. But with the bridge being gone, it adds a little bit more to detour around and then kind of maneuver your way through the social trail. But that's kind of cool to see that the bridge not there anymore. I don't know when they plan on rebuilding it, but and that's at least the first step to getting it rebuilt, right? Is to tear out the old one. So it is gone. I wonder how many helicopter loads that took. I wonder what they do with all that, if they try to reuse the wood and metal. I don't know if you even can, just because of how twisted it was. But yeah, that was cool to see. So we're gonna be hitting Cottonwood Campground here shortly. Manzanita shortly after that, and then we climb and climb and climb until we hit the North Rim, way up there. This stretch of trail just looks epic. Cut along the cliffside here, got the creek to my left. It's just awesome. So I was trying to get a picture, but my phone does this stupid thing sometimes when I'm running and I have it in this vest pocket where if it bounces around, it'll actually lock me out for like 10 minutes. So I pulled my phone out to get a picture and it's disabled. Gotta wait 10 minutes before I can unlock it. So I figured at least get some GoPro footage of that. Beautiful. Enjoying the last little bit of the waterfalls of Bright Angel Creek. So we left Manzanita shortly, or a little bit ago. Now we're really climbing up to the North Rim. Temperature's still good. Sun's out, but it's not too hot. I still feel pretty good. But this climb is definitely the hardest part. Well, at least until the second climb, which will be up South Kaibab today. But this will be the hardest part thus far. But I'm still making decent time. If I can just move at like anywhere from 2 to 3 miles an hour, I should be able to hit sub 6 for the rim to rim crossing, if my calculations are right, because I think it's 4 miles to the rim from here. I should have checked on the sign before leaving Manzanita, but I'm at 16.7 right now. 4 hours and 12 minutes. So it'll probably be right around 6 hours, maybe a little bit after, which means I would need a negative split to go sub 12. Probably won't happen, but then again, going from north to south is easier because of the added elevation. The North Rim sits about 1,000 feet higher than the South Rim. So I'm going to be descending 1,000 more feet and climbing 1,000 less feet on the return trip. So we'll see. We'll see. my main priority is just to enjoy the day and enjoy being out here at my favorite place. And so far, we are doing that. And I'm gonna put the GoPro away probably for the rest of this climb, because I have the European cheater sticks out. For those of you that were watching the Cocodona broadcast, that's what Stieg called him, the guy that ended up winning. Prescott local, pretty cool. But yeah, looking forward to getting to the North Rim. I have some pizza slices in my pack from New Marco's, best pizza place in Flagstaff, in my opinion. And definitely looking forward to enjoying those. But first, we just got to knock out a couple thousand feet of climbing. So here we go. I don't know if you can see, I just got a few pictures, but there's a helicopter in flight over there. Took off from, not sure exactly where, close to the top of the rim, but not all the way up. And the bottom of the helicopter, I'm pretty sure, said NPS on it for National Park Service, I'm guessing. So it's either a rescue or workers. So you can see it. It's lower down. It's probably landing at Manzanita. There's a copter pad there. Unless it's rescuing someone, then it's landing wherever it can. It's already gone. That was super cool. I've never seen a copter that close in the canyon before. You can see Redwall Bridge down there. Passed that a little while ago, which means we're less than 2 miles to the top, maybe closer to 1.5 miles. I'm not sure. This climb just feels like it goes on forever. But slowly but surely we're getting there. I'm on pace for right around 6 hours for the time across. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe like 6:10, 6:15, give or take. So a little bit more to go. So we're at the last little bit to the North Rim. I thought it was 21 miles to make it across. I guess it's 22. I'm at 22.07 right now, so a little more than the 6 hours I wanted. I'm at like 6:40, but that's okay. The last 2 miles of this climb really got me. But here's the top. We'll get up there, eat some food, rest for a little bit. There's never ending climb up this freaking trail. I'll be glad to be going downhill for a while. But here we are at the North Rim. We made it. That's right. But at least we got a nice downhill for a while. At least that's what I keep telling myself. We are back to running again. Just left the South Kaibab trail up there. Stopped for about maybe 20 minutes. Ate, filled up. Feeling refreshed, or as refreshed as I can be, you know. 22 miles into a canyon run, but I'm gonna enjoy this downhill as much as I can, because the last time I did rim to rim to rim, my knee got a little jacked up on the run across, and so I couldn't be as aggressive as I wanted to coming back down North Kaibab. Hello. So good work, guys. I was hoping to get back to Phantom in time for some lemonade, but I don't know if that's gonna happen because they closed the canteen at 4. It's like 1 o'clock right now, a little after 1. We'll see. If not, you know, no big deal. I was talking to a few guys up there. One guy was through hiking the AZT south and north. So he was almost at the end. Another guy was with him. He wasn't with him for the whole through hike. I think he joined him a little bit for the end of it, but he's going on to through hike the Hayduke Trail, which is a gnarly trail in Utah. It's one of the harder trails as far as like route finding and navigation goes. There's a pretty good documentary on YouTube about it that I watched. So it's cool. I meet all kinds of crazy people out on these adventures. The last couple miles of this climb is really starting to get to me, because you feel like it's never gonna end. North Kaibab is just so long, but now that means I get to enjoy all that going down. It was chilly at the top, and there were some patches of snow up there still, which was kind of cool to see up on the North Rim. The North Rim's still closed to the public, so they opened the gate May 15th, the road to get here from Jacobs Lake. But yeah, chilly, windy, a little snowy, just, you know, little patches on the ground that haven't melted yet. But that was cool to see. So I got my sleeves on, but I'm guessing these will be coming off once I'm a couple miles down the trail. So I feel good so far. I'm just gonna keep this pace up for the downhill trek and checking along the way. See Redwall Bridge way down there. We're just following these switchbacks, literally cut right into this cliff. This is one of the gnarlier parts of North Kaibab. This, and then when you get to Redwall Bridge, there's a little bit of a climb, and then after that it gets pretty gnarly too, just with how they and literally they cut the trail out of the cliff. You can kind of see it here. It's just amazing to me how they built these. So my legs are definitely feeling heavy on this downhill, but we're making decent time, and I'd much rather be doing this than climbing, which, you know, we still have quite a bit more climbing to do, but just not gonna think about that for the next like 10 miles. If you guys have watched Jamil's video on YouTube, Chasing Walmsley, where he follows Jim Walmsley down this trail when he was setting his rim to rim to rim FKT, the Redwall Bridge is where Jamil chased him to, and then you just see Jim just taking off up those switchbacks after the bridge. That's one of the coolest videos on YouTube. It's probably my favorite running video, to be honest. Just with how Jim moves down the trail, it's really amazing. And then the music that Jamil edits into it, and the fact that he can even keep pace with him for those few miles is pretty amazing too. So if you haven't watched it, there's a short version that's cut up a little bit, and there's a long unedited version. Either one I'd recommend, but I always watch the long unedited version. It's like 20-25 minutes long, something like that, and the footage that he gets is just awesome stuff. It's really inspiring. So anyway, I just wanted to get part of this trail on video, and I'll probably turn the camera back on once we're on the other side of Redwall, which won't be too much longer, so we'll see you in a little bit. This is another really cool spot. Just coming around this bend here, and check out that rock up there. It's like a big old hole carved out right there. It's pretty wild. I'm chafing pretty good. I might have to break out the SNB once we get to Manzanita. So other than that, my legs are just heavy, but we're still running the downs when we can. And I think at some point here pretty soon, maybe around this bend, there's another really cool part of the trail where it's just like carved from a cliff, and it looks pretty sick. So I'm gonna try and get that on video when we get there. So I think this is it. I'm starting to think I was losing my mind, but I know at some point there's a trail that's cut out of a cliff face, and I think this is it. You can see Manzanita off in the distance, so that's good. That'll mean all the gnarly descent is pretty much over, because it's much more gradual after that. And yeah, my quads are taking a pounding on this descent compared to South Kaibab, where they felt pretty good. See, there's Manzanita. I'll have to swap my GoPro battery here pretty soon as well, so maybe I'll do that at Manzanita. Yeah, this is it. So see down there, the winding trail just cut out of that cliff. Just super gnarly, dude. It's so sick. I'm gonna make my way down this little descent, and then maybe I'll get some footage of me running that, if I have it in me. We'll see. So I actually caught a second wind. I was making pretty good time going down this trail, and I decided to jump over a rattlesnake. I didn't even see it until it rattled at me, and then like it was kind of like, you know, slithering off to the side of the trail. But man, if my heart rate wasn't up before, it sure is now. Whew. That was my second rattlesnake that I've seen. First one at the canyon. I've seen, you know, a lot of gopher snakes on the trails here in Arizona, but oh, that was a little freaky. he did not want me around him, that's for sure. So luckily he just slithered away, and I heard his rattler and I was able to hop over him. That was gnarly. Here's some little guys. They're harmless. See those all over the place. Little desert iguanas. Man. I wish I would have got that on video, but you know, I'd rather not mess with a rattlesnake over a video. But it slithered away pretty quickly anyway, so. Okay, so right here, this is Roaring Springs. I can't remember if I got footage of that along the way up or not, but these springs, amazingly enough, provide enough water for both rims and Phantom. North Rim, South Rim, and Phantom all come from Roaring Springs. And I'm not sure, I mean, it has to be a natural spring. It would have to be. I just don't know what feeds it. So there's a trail that you can follow down there. So I took it the one time thinking you would get a better shot of Roaring Springs. Actually, I think in my last Rim to Rim to Rim video, I filmed that. The trail just like ends. And it just ends. And there's like a bathroom up the hill, and that's it. Like, you can't even see the springs. You can't even see a creek. So if you're ever here and you're curious about that trail, unless you just want to say that you've done it, it's honestly not worth it. But I don't know, if you're a completionist, then go for it, but don't expect that many. Just don't expect much. So anyway, we are approaching Manzanita, and actually there was a house back there, or not a house, a landing pad for a helicopter. I'm assuming that's where that helicopter landed that took off earlier. Ooh, windy. So, right, just making sure that we're good here. I'm building a new battery at Manzanita. I think the video died on my last video, so I'm not sure what all it got, but yeah, that was after the rattlesnake sighting, which was pretty gnarly. No one else saw it. There were a few guys at Manzanita I was talking to, and yeah, I guess I scared it away for everybody else. That was crazy. I wish I could have seen if it was a pink rattler or not. I didn't get a good enough look, because there are pink rattlesnakes that are native to Grand Canyon, and they're rare to see. I've always wanted to see one. I couldn't tell if it was a pink one or not. Honestly, I don't know. So I don't want to claim that I saw one, but it was a rattlesnake. I know that for sure. Look at how sick that waterfall is. Dude, you could go swimming in that. For real. You could hit that trail, if you can call that a trail. That'd be gnarly. That's sick. I noticed that on the way up. Yeah. That's awesome. So we're back kind of along the mellower part. From here to Phantom, it's about 8.5 miles, and there's about 1,400 feet of descent, but it's all gradual. There's nothing like steep or gnarly or anything. Heard something else. That first part of North Kaibab was brutal. That was really taking a toll on my quads, like more so than South Kaibab, which South Kaibab's pretty steep too. But I caught a second wind around mile 26. I'm at 28 right now, and I'm feeling good. This is all very comfortable to run. So I'm gonna try to make up some time during these next 8 miles I'm probably gonna get to Phantom after they close for dinner, which means I won't get to have lemonade, which is a bummer, but it's okay. If that's the one negative about today is not having lemonade, then I'm still having a pretty good day, all things considered. So I'm gonna put the camera away, I'm gonna get these miles under me, and I'm going to enjoy the sights and the sounds of Bright Angel Creek here as we finish up this last chunk of North Kaibab. Okay, this is just unbelievable. First of all, it's just such a freaking gorgeous day right now. I mean, look at the south rim back there. Look at the creek down there. Look at how blue the sky is, okay? I don't know if you're picking this up on the GoPro. It's raining. I'm right underneath a rain cloud right now. I'm getting rained on. Unless I'm hallucinating rain, but no, it's 100% just drizzling on me right now. In spite of like probably 90-degree weather and sunshine. Just how gnarly the Grand Canyon is. And look at that. Look at this. I hope that the camera can pick that up. It's raining. I've never been in a rainstorm. See? I'm not crazy. Look at that. I've never been in a rainstorm where I also can like feel the sunshine at the same time. It's so cool. I don't know why this makes me so happy. Oh man, there's the north rim where we came from. There's the south rim where we're going. This is awesome. I'm getting rained on right now. Like, and experiencing sunshine. Be sick to see a rainbow down here. Anyway, you gotta be prepared for any kind of weather conditions when you're in Grand Canyon. Even if it's 0% chance of precipitation, sunny with highs in the 90s, it could still rain here, as evidenced by the fact that it is raining right now. And it's awesome. So I did something pretty stupid. Made sure to charge my GoPro batteries, but I forgot to format my SD card. And all my videos from the Zion 100 miler are still on there, so I ran out of space. So no more GoPro footage of this adventure. But we're just making our way almost to the box right now, back to Phantom. And this climb of South Kaibab is going to be a slog. I can already kind of feel it, so I don't know how much more filming I would have done anyway. But see ribbon off in the distance now. Our way down Asinine Hill. It's really windy right now. If you can't hear that in the video. And this, I mean, what do you say to that? Like, when I think of God's country, it's like this is what I picture. Just beautiful canyons, lush greenery, streams flowing, blue skies. Like, what more could you ask for in a backdrop? It's just so beautiful here. But I hope that it's coming through on the iPhone. This will probably be my last video just because I know the quality suffers quite a bit when I switch to the iPhone just from the bounciness of me running. But I might do one more when I make it out of South Kaibab just to kind of wrap it up. And that'll be it. So when I put the phone away, I'll use it for pictures from here on out, and I'll check in at the top whenever that may be, and we're gonna finish climbing out of here to complete this rim to rim to rim adventure. I got some trail buddies. Hi. These two are playing. Everyone else is just chilling. All right, it's enough distractions. Start climbing out of here. Well, I made it out of the canyon. I feel like death. A climb up South Kaibab almost took me out. Oh man, that was hard. But made it back in my truck, safe and sound. Sorry about the GoPro video formatting, but I got a lot of good footage. The only stuff I wish I could have got was coming out. It was a really pretty sunset up South Kaibab. I took a lot of pictures, so I'll probably throw that at the end of this video, just some of the better ones of the sunset once I get home and kind of sort through them all. So that was stupid hard. I think if you're gonna do rim to rim to rim, so I finished in 13:41, so sub 14, not quite at the 12-hour range I was hoping for, but that's still about an hour faster than my first rim to rim to rim, so that's good. I'd probably still go up Bright Angel because it's so much harder to go up South Kaibab. The fact that people can run up South Kaibab at the end of a rim to rim to rim is mental. It's just stupid that that's even possible. That blows my mind. Just climbing out of there is just stupid hard. Like, it's stupid hard regularly, but at the end of a double crossing, I mean, just take the added miles and go up Bright Angel. Because I didn't feel this bad after my first rim to rim to rim. I felt pretty good after that, to be honest. You know, relatively speaking. But that climb out was rough. I had daylight until about Skeleton Point, then I had Civil Twilight for a little bit, then I busted out my Kogala light to get me through. I got this awesome belt for it. I would show you, but I just kind of threw everything in the back seat. I think the company is SPI Belts. They're based out of Texas. And I've been looking for a good solution for like a better mounting system for my Kogala. And that belt's it. I mean, it works perfectly. It's super lightweight, doesn't bounce. It has a big pocket and a small pocket. And then it just clicks together. So I have the battery pack. The pockets are like flexible material. So I have the biggest battery pack. I have the 3, you know, they come in 1, 2, and 3. That's weird. I feel like there's something right outside my window, but that's just my reflection. I have the biggest battery pack, and it fits perfectly in that pocket because of the flexible material. And so I have the battery pack in there, and then I wired the light around it, and I used the Velcro to actually attach it to the belt, and it works perfectly. Like, that's the solution. So if you got a Kogala light and you kind of want a better mounting system, the SPI belt, highly recommend. So I think that was about it. I'm going to devour the rest of this New Marco's pizza, Flagstaff style. Best pizza in Flag. I don't know if that I'm really bad at filming with the iPhone. So I'm gonna devour that. I got a cherry Coke here, and I'm gonna drive home. That was stupid hard, but another fun day at the Grand Canyon. It's always an adventure. So I'll get home and I'll edit all this together, and I'll throw some pictures at the end after my GoPro ran out of memory. So anyway, thanks for watching and following along. Next up for me is Bryce 50 miler at the end of the month. So if you're gonna be there, look for me. It was cool getting to meet some of you guys at Zion. And I know that video, the Bryce video, is actually my most popular one for some reason. Like, I feel like out of all my videos, there was like, I don't know, there's other videos that I think are better, like, but that one for whatever reason is the most popular, which is cool. So anyway, if you're gonna be there, you know, say hi to me if you see me out there, and it'd be cool to meet some more of you. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at Bryce.